Are you waiting for Christmas? I have noticed myself this year. This is the first Christmas that I'm like already like looking forward to in very early stage. I have usually been like the kind of person that celebrates Christmas very like shortly, but now I've noticed that I've been starting to doing some decorations, and I'm really like having like longer period of Christmas, and I have to say I really like this. This is my first Christmas that I'm really like waiting and really like thinking about like what would I like my home to look like, and usually I haven't even had any decorations usually, but this is the first one and I'm really like looking forward to it. But anyway, I was thinking about today talking about skincare and making more like a longer video about skincare with essential oils. I was thinking about it because there are so many oils that work for a little bit differently, and I haven't really done like this comprehensive video about skincare. I'm a beautician and I think skincare is very important, not just for the looks but also I feel for the health. I think it's very nice to have like a healthy glowing skin, and I think it's very good, and especially in Finland we have really brutal climate, so this is the kind of time of the year that I think almost everybody has dry skin and some problems, so I thought this would be like a good time for this kind of video. I made an article about this and I will link it to somewhere because I'm gonna go through these oils quite quickly, so if you wanna check out later like what kind of oil I was talking about and what oil did what, so you could just go and check those out. Those are kind of like my notes for this video. So anyway, first I think it's important to watch what kind of oils are you using. There are very different kind of essential oils, and now because it's becoming like this boom, we've been having some companies that are they are not really essential oils. They add a lot of synthetics in them, and even if they say 100%, it usually is not 100%. There's usually, if you smell them, you can smell like there's something else than the actual plant or the actual fruit. You can smell that there's something else there. So before you use it, just make sure that it's a good quality oil. But I have made actually a vlog about this. I can link that also, because in that video I talk more about the selection of essential oil brand. So anyway, but yeah, and also something that I should probably talk more about it always is you need to also dilute the oils enough. If you use 1 drop or 2 drops, then you should probably have like a palm of your hand, like if you use coconut oil, or you can use olive oil or any vegetable oil, or if you have very oily skin and you are very hesitant to use those kind of oils because you're worried that your skin gets blocked, you can also use just basic lotion without any scent in it, and then add the 1 drop or 2 drops. But even in that case, just use a lot of the lotion just to make sure that it doesn't irritate your skin, because those essential oils, they are very powerful, so it's very important to dilute enough. So yeah, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the oils. I'm gonna start with my favorite, which is the king of all oils, which is the frankincense. It's very good for the cells in your body. I use it also internally for that, but for the skin, I always in the evenings I love to use it. It smells really nice and it's very good for the cells. So I use it for my face and I use it for my décolleté area, and it's also good for the hands now in the winters. I think it probably be good for that also. And then I also use 1 drop of lavender. Lavender is very calming, and I have some tuberosa in my skin, which is very common in Finland. So it calms. Lavender is very good for calming that. So I find that combination of those two are very good for my personal skin. But I'm gonna go through different kinds of skin types. So eucalyptus is very good if you wanna cool your skin for some reason. It's antiseptic, so if you have like like a bug bite or some kind of burn or something like that. It's very cool, but it's not probably the best for the whole skin. Just use it for the place that you need it to, and not for anything else, because it is very strong. Geranium is very good. It contracts the skin, so if you have your skin is starting to be a little bit more looser and you need some balancing, it's very good. And it firms the skin. So if you feel like your skin is a little bit, it's not in the best shape anymore, you may be a little bit older, or you are very exposed to some climatal changes and things, then you start to notice that it's not as firm as it used to be. Geranium is very good for that, and it also takes inflammation away. So if you have some inflammation in your skin, and it's very also good for acne and eczemas and some small cuts. So it's very good for, I think, for many uses. Then juniper berry, I don't know if you call it juniper or maybe juniper berry. it's a very strong oil. It's very good also for contracting the skin, and it's very good for acne. It's quite strong, so you start using for the spots that you need it. So if you have like inflammation in your acne, just use it for those spots and not the whole skin. So if you have like a dry forehead but you don't have any inflammation here, then there's really no point putting it here. You can just put it in the spots that you need it. And also it's very good if you have a very oily skin. So some people tell me that when it's summertime and they feel like it's really bad, and then they can use it more, but during winter when it's more dry, then they use it in the spots that they actually need it. Lavender I was already talking about. It's also antiseptic, so it's very good also for if your kids get bug bites or anything like that. Lavender is very easy, but of course with kids you probably should dilute also, but it's very sensitive, and I have used lavender also without diluting it when I have had some, because I usually get during spring, I get like this sun rash. I always use it for that because I have very sensitive skin and I have freckles also, so my skin is not the best friend of the sun. So lavender is a very good friend of mine, and now I'm going soon to travel, and I can pretty much tell that I probably should take a lot of lavender with me, because now I have the winter skin and it's gonna be really hot sun, so it's very good to calming the skin. And yeah, also burns, like I also use lavender if I have burns, like these small burns in my hands. It's very good for that also. And Roman chamomile is quite like lavender. It's also very good for sensitive skin and very good for dry skin, and it's very calming and antiseptic also. But it's also good if you have some acne, because some acne, it can be very like oily it can be very oily, the skin, but on the surface it's very dry. So some people tell me that Roman chamomile is very good in that phase when it's very dry but also oily underneath, so it's sensitive enough to take care of it, and it's not like too strong necessarily like some of the oils. So it depends what kind of skin you have, because some people can have very sensitive but oily skin, and some people have very oily skin and it's not sensitive at all. So those people can use like stronger oils. But if you have more sensitive skin and dry skin but also oily, then Roman chamomile can be good for that, because it's more balancing the two. And sandalwood is very good for somebody who has an older skin, like if you have wrinkles and your skin it starts to be quite thin, you have wrinkles, and sandalwood is very good. It smells incredible, but it's very good for skin like that. It gets to be more softer, and it's very good. It balances like this. If you are like, let's say plus 60, I mean, I know some people are over 60 and they have really nice skin, and it's not necessarily thin or wrinkly, but some people it starts to be when they get over 60 that the skin really changes, or over 70 it really changes. So sandalwood is very good for that, and it's also good, it's sensitive enough, so you can use it if you have sunburn or inflammation of any kind. Sandalwood is quite sensitive. I have already talked about some videos about tea tree oil, but I'm gonna talk about also a little bit here because it's very, I use it sometimes around the house, and also for my kid if there's some inflammation or there's cuts, because it's very antiseptic. It's like if you have any inflammation or something in your nail or fungus or any kind, tea tree is very like powerful. But tea tree is also something that I wouldn't put like necessarily in the whole skin, just in the places that you really need it, because it is very strong also. Yeah, and it's also, you can use it also for rashes, but depends really what kind of rash. If it's more like a dry rash, maybe try lavender, that is also antiseptic, but this is more like if you feel like lavender is not strong enough, then maybe tea tree oil could help out. Yeah, I was pretty quick actually. Yeah, but anyway, but good for you. Good, but there I will link those two things somewhere around here, and if you need some, because I went through those pretty quickly, but if you wanna check out the article, then it's somewhere here. But anyway, just have a good experience with Christmas.